Hey yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey.
The first quarter of the NFL season has officially ended. And with that being said, no time to panic. If I'm being honest with you, I just did my top 11 power rankings, and five out of the 11 have 2-2 records. As a matter of fact, 15 teams in the NFL right now have a 2-2 record. It's a lot of parity going on. And with that being said, my name is Corey Hilliard. The man next to me is Brandon Hill, aka B Hill, aka B, and we are the House Divided.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got our Halloween decorations starting to be put up in the House Divided. If you've been here before, don't be afraid of the skeleton sitting on the front porch. Don't mind all the pumpkins carved out on the island there in the kitchen. We just getting ready for the holiday season. But this is your first time, welcome to our house, Mi Casa, Su Casa.
Yeah.
But if it's your first time or you've been here before, you know we got to go over the house rules. B Hill,
Absolutely.
you got them?
I got them, man. You guys already know what time it is. If you guys aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to us if you don't mind. Go ahead and hit that notification bell too, so you guys can be up to date on all our newest content we're going to be hitting for y'all. Another thing, if y'all don't mind, if y'all like what you're seeing and everything, you like the content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, that like button. Helps us get our product out there to you guys. Another thing, we'd love to hear from you guys. We want to hop down in those comment boxes, good or bad, feedback, whatever. We want to hear from you guys. Please comment down below. Corey, we got us a good one here today, man. This is a good show. This is a good show for me anyways, because as you were alluding to, you know, with all those 2-2 teams, everything else, well, my Vikings ain't one of those. We 3-1. 3-1 out here. Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest. You know, we had our cornerback Chris Boyd going on Twitter. If you've heard about the Twitter beef that he had, where he basically told the fans to STFU. And for those of you that don't know that at home, I can't pronounce that out because of YouTube. But yeah, he told the fans to be quiet, to shut the you know what up, and it's not looking good for him right now. Chris Boyd, the corner for us, yeah, he went on to Twitter. He had some beef with some fans, basically because the Vikings fans just feel like the Vikings are just leaving a little bit too much on the table right now. You know what I'm saying? I would agree to that. As a Vikings fan, we're going to hop into this first game, the Vikings and the Saints one. I know this one's going to strike a little nerve with Corey here. He called me after the game on Sunday and told me, he was like, I'm dropping you guys in my power rankings. And I was like, okay, cool. Drop us. That's fine. No big deal. You want to know why? Because I seen 3 or 4 drives in that game that we should have capitalized as the touchdowns, and we scored field goals. We had the 2 turnovers on you guys, and we got 6 points out of it. We need to capitalize that and make that 14 points. But at the end of the day, Corey, we had our backs against the wall. And last year, those kind of games, we lost those.
Y'all lost.
We were losing those. Those were losses for us. They were not wins.
Big facts.
So we've had 2 of those games. Out of the 3 wins that we have so far, they've been close games. We've had to come back, or we've had to hold a team off to be able to win. So to me as a Vikings fan this season, I'm loving what I'm seeing on the field. We're not doing too much. We're not doing too little. We're doing just enough right now. And it will. If we continue to do that, we keep continuing to be resilient, that's only going to keep continuing to help us build as a team as far as our confidence level and those players being able to win those close games. So I'm liking it. The vote of confidence level for my Vikings right now is pretty high. I've got them a little bit higher in my power rankings than what I have so far this season. You've actually been higher on my Vikings than I have this year. So, I mean, I'm starting to kind of believe a little bit. I'm sitting back, though, and I'm waiting still patiently. I'm not going to jump overboard or anything like that. But I wanted to just say that Saints game, Andy Dalton, he's not as bad as what people want to say. I mean, 20 for 28, 236, a touchdown. I mean, let's just be real, Corey. Whenever I point this out, they set a stat during the game. The Saints, through the first 3 quarters of each game this season, haven't scored but like a total of 7 or 14 points or something like that. They have not been scoring a whole lot in the first 3 quarters of games. Is that a true or a false statement?
No, that's not if that's what they said, that's the stats. The stats are the stats. I would agree with that. We usually don't do that good to start the game off.
I would argue that the Saints probably had one of their most complete games from start to finish in this game against the Vikings. I would argue that.
No, yeah, for sure. As a Saints fan watching all the games, yes.
I mean, whenever you're talking about who they were going up against, I mean, who's their one win? Who's their one win against? You're a Saints fan. Who's their one win?
Against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 1.
Okay.
So
a team that everybody's beating up on nowadays. I mean, now granted they've gotten a little better. Give Marcus Mariota a little. That's cute. It's nice. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Here's what I'm getting to. Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston. Let's be completely honest with ourselves when we say this. It's close to a wash. Would you agree or disagree? You're probably going to disagree, but give me your feedback on that.
Yes and no. Yes, and the fact that talent-wise they're similar. I think if you look at the trajectory and what Winston has done in the past, being a former 5,000-yard passer, his pedigree coming out of college, being a number 1 overall pick. Andy Dalton was never any of those things, but Andy Dalton had a 6-year stretch where he led the Bengals to 5 straight playoff appearances. So the Red Rifle, I think, is what they used to call him. Right. The dude can ball, man. He used to be a baller, but now he's a backup quarterback, which is not what Winston is. Winston is still a starting quarterback in the NFL for now. That can change after this year in a year or two. But as of right now, I think the talent gap, it's not huge. I think I know what you're hinting at. You're saying that they're pretty much the same, but I will still take Winston over Dalton.
Okay. And then you had Chris Olave. That's a promising young guy right there. Chris Olave, the receiver out of Ohio State. That guy right there is a baller. He is up and coming, folks. Keep and remember that name, Chris Olave. He had 4 catches, 67 yards, and he had a touchdown. That one catch that he had at the end of the game to set up the chance to game-tying field goal, oh, my word. I mean, I think Harrison Smith hurt his hand on that play too, but it was one of those where it was like, my dude's better than your dude, and Andy Dalton trusted that, and he threw the ball up there, and his dude, Chris Olave, came down with that thing, and that was a phenomenal catch. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, other than that, you had Latavius Murray, who they waived, which was surprising. I mean, obviously, they think Kamara is going to come back and just beat Kamara, but, man, Latavius Murray is a good backup running back. Let's just come on. I'd rather have him over Mark Ingram. It's just me.
Yeah, the stats varied. I mean, Latavius had 11 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown, 5.2 average. Mark Ingram had 10 carries for 30 yards, 3.0 average, and no touchdowns. So, I mean, who would you take?
I'm taking Latavius Murray. I remember Latavius Murray when he was with us for that one year and we went to the NFC Championship game. So, I'm a big Latavius Murray fan. But, I mean, hey, you guys didn't have Michael Thomas. You didn't have Kamara. If you did have those guys, would it have been a different game? Maybe. Or maybe it would have been something to where the Vikings were ready and game plan for that. Because if I'm not mistaken, that was a game-time decision if those guys were going to go or were not. So sometimes in the NFL, whenever you're not ready for a certain player, like if you're game planning all week for Jameis Winston, and then at game time, Andy Dalton's going to be the starter, that kind of throws things off a little bit. But credit the Vikings. They won the game. They handled their business, and they beat the Saints. So I'm not dropping them off like what you were saying, but I liked it. I thought it was a good win. I'll take it. Any other thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I was pretty pissed after the game, to be honest. That's why I called you and told you guys sucked. Kirk Cousins did exactly what I thought he would do. 25 for 38, 273. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had an 84.7 QB rating, as opposed to Andy Dalton, who had a 108.6 rating. So I knew once you got Kirk Cousins away from home, and in a primetime spot. Now, it was 8:30 in the morning, but that's still prime time. Prime time, the definition of prime time is when you're the only game on, right? And so I just knew that he wasn't going to be as good as he was. He was not bad, but he was decent. But an 84.7 QB rating is not good. Not in today's NFL.
Well, and I'll give that's testament to the Saints D-line. Y'all's D-line was giving our offensive line fits. And y'all's D-line, I told you this too. I if I'm not mistaken, I texted you. I said the Saints defense is for real.
Yeah.
They have some dudes over there. But it came down to my guy Justin Jefferson is better than your guy Marshawn Lattimore. End of discussion. That's what I seen on Sunday.
Well, that's not hard to say, dude. That's the best receiver in football, so he's going to be better than damn near every corner that he plays.
Come on, stand up and say it again, because the man had his "I'm still here" moment last Sunday. Because
after a couple down 2 weeks, they finally started feeding him the ball again. 10th of 147. I was happy that they got Adam Thielen involved. What's that?
You know what? You know why that is because the teams that were doubling him, and then they seen that Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne and those other options can still hurt you.
Yeah.
You better not double or triple team Justin Jefferson, because Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne will make you pay. That's a fact. That's a fact. This next game that we got, though, this was a heck of a game. This was kind of one of those games that was going to make or break the other team. It was the Jaguars at the Eagles. The Jaguars were kind of that little, you know what I'm saying, that little sexy team here at the beginning, the little Cinderella story. It was all good. And they jumped out on the Eagles like 14-0 in this one. They had that pick six on Jalen Hurts that he threw. You know what I'm saying? They came out and they were swinging. But
I agree. 14-0 in the first quarter. Jalen Hurts finally showed that he's human again.
He
did. Thought that was telling a little bit. But to be down 14-0 at home, come back, and he made some big throws. I think you might have the stat line on him. I think, what was he, 16-25, 204 last I saw.
204. Yep, no touchdowns and an interception. But his
really
rating
didn't
was
do nothing in the ground game.
72.8. No, they neutralized him for sure. And again, it's one of those things that's on tape now. What the other NFL teams will take that, and we'll see what the Jaguars did to try and somewhat neutralize. Now, it still didn't work. I mean, the Eagles still came out on top 29-21. They covered the 6.5 spread that they had. I mean, they handled their business. They played big boy football when they needed to. I mean, Miles Sanders is a dude. 27 carries for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a 5-yard average. Come on, man. That dude was absolutely lights out. They got A.J. Brown. They got Dallas Goedert. I mean, Devontae Smith was off this game. But, I mean, do they have weapons? The Eagles are definitely a problem. They're not 4-0 by mistake.
No.
I mean, they're not. And I'm sorry, but Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys ain't beating these Eagles. It ain't happening. It just ain't. I'm still not sold on the Cowboys in that division, man. I'm just not. So, and you'll see that coming up in my power rankings. I still have yet to have the Cowboys in my top 10. I'm not ready to jump. I'm not doing it. I'm just not ready for it yet. They got to prove more to me.
I'll say this about the Eagles. What I loved about them preseason, and we talked about this in the preseason preview, the run game. They were the number 1 rushing team last year. I think they're top 2 or 3 this year. Run games, no matter whether you're home or away, if your team's struggling early, when you can run the ball, it solves a lot of problems. And that's why I'm high on the Eagles like you are.
They are. I really am. I am high on the Eagles, man. And I seen it in person, and I seen them absolutely dismantle my Vikings. This next game, man, this one I thought we were going to be right on this, Corey, but we were wrong. The Bills and the Ravens. This was a heck of a game in that first half. Well played by the Ravens. It was a sloppy, rainy game. You know what I mean? They came out, they picked off Josh Allen. I mean, they had him rattled a little bit. But then the second half came along, and Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills showed you why they are legitimate title contenders this season. I mean, Josh Allen is playing at an MVP level, although his stats didn't indicate it this game. But hell, if my quarterback wants to line up and give me 213 yards and then take 11 carries for 70 more and give me another touchdown there, I'll take it any day. I would take that any day. So, and Lamar Jackson on the other side, I mean, the 2 picks that he had, he looked human. He looked normal. You know what I mean? He kind of came back down to earth. He was on this high. They were talking MVP, everything else, but then it kick you back down a notch a little bit because there's levels to this, and the Buffalo Bills showed that they're a team to be reckoned with, man. Don't sleep on the Buffalo Bills.
No, I was the Ravens, they have a finishing problem.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the teams that are like in upper echelon, you think about it. They had a 35-14 lead against the Dolphins in the fourth quarter, didn't finish the game. 20-3 lead against the Bills, didn't finish the game. And they didn't kick that field goal with 4 minutes left. Now, if you're a Ravens fan, you got to be either cautiously optimistic that if you just start finishing games, you can compete with anybody.
Right.
Or you got to be frustratingly pessimistic and think, what the hell are we doing? Why can't we finish games? So that's the thing they got to figure out. You know, it's only the first quarter, like we said, but they might want to figure that out before the playoffs start, before they get in a situation where they're not winning that division anymore.
Or they're not in the playoffs. That's
what I'm saying.
Like,
yeah.
Me as a Vikings fans, I know what it's like to lose a lot of close games and to watch a team. I mean, it's
they're two fourth quarters away from being 4-0 and being tied for the best record in the NFL.
Tell me about it. But it's the game of inches. I mean, this is the NFL.
Yeah,
you got to come with your A game on every single down, every single second.
Yeah.
You cannot slip. And when you slip, especially when you slip against a team like the Buffalo Bills, they're going to make you pay. And that's what they did. They made them pay. Josh Allen showed you why he's one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, that guy over there, we're about to talk about him here in a second.
I know you're talking about,
he's pretty dang good. And I still got him as my number one guy, but Josh Allen is a very close second right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and if they could ever just get somebody consistent at running back, yikes, look out.
Yeah.
That's all they need. They're a running back away from being an ultimate. You are not going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, well, J.K. Dobbins was supposed to be that guy. He tore his ACL. They had 3 out of their top 4 running backs last year tore their ACLs before the season started.
No, I was talking to Bills.
Oh yeah, well shoot, man. That offense isn't predicated on running the football. When you got that Josh Allen back there, I get it. I agree. You want to have a running back that can take the pressure off of Josh Allen, but I
don't want my big quarterback. I don't want him running the ball every time. Like Josh Allen takes hits, man.
He does.
I know he's a big dude and he can absorb a lot of those hits, but it only takes one, my friend. It only takes one. And he's great to watch. And I'm not gonna knock on some wood, everything else. I don't want to wish any ill will on that guy, but man, the Bills need to figure out a running game, and they need to figure out a running game without Josh Allen. I don't want my quarterback running 11 times.
No.
Even if it is, because if I'm not mistaken, 10 out of those 11 times, that man was taking hits. Mm-hmm. He don't slide. He don't slide. He don't go to the sideline.
He wants to smoke, dog. He wants to smoke, bro. When he runs, my boy wants to smoke. I like it.
But there's somebody in the NFL that's going to give him that smoke right back, and there ain't going to be no fire afterwards. Let me tell you that. I promise you that.
Facts.
So, I mean, all right, so we got the Bucks and the Chiefs. This was a barometer game, pretty much, to say the least. I mean, everybody was coming in. They thought the Bucks defense was going to be able to neutralize or slow down Patrick Mahomes, everything else. All I want to ask is, when are people going to stop doubting that man, Patrick Mahomes? When are they going to do it?
Bro.
They need to show this man some respect, bro, because what he did, because Tom Brady played the best game that Tom Brady at the age of 45 could ever muster. and they still lost. And it wasn't even close. I mean, 41-31, this game was not that close. I'm sorry. The Bucks got that 31 whenever it was garbage time already. So I don't even want to talk about that. I'm just saying, this man, Patrick Mahomes, needs his flowers.
I think that's why it's not so much doubt for Patrick Mahomes. It's starting to become hate. You know what I mean? You see a great player, as great as he is, they just want to see him fail at this point. So I don't even know if it's so much, them not respecting his game. They don't like the stuff that he does. Dude, he's out there. He's Houdini. The dude is magical.
When he does those little sidearm passes, oh my, dude, it's
the spinning
insane.
and just throwing it, the way he contorts his body.
You think you got him, and he'll flip it behind his head or something and throw it for 40 yards on a dime down the field. And
that's what I'm saying. Dude. I'm watching the game, and I have no vested interest in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Kansas City Chiefs. But I was watching the game like, God, man, y'all can't. Y'all letting this dude do this to y'all? Like, bro, stop him. Stop him. No, and they couldn't. They couldn't. So I can see where the hate is coming from. You know what I mean?
Tampa Bay. Their defense, they ain't got no slouches over there.
They were the number one defense coming into it.
That's what I'm saying. They got some dudes over there, but man.
They got lit up for 41.
Hey, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, that connection is real, man. I mean, they're just it's special. It's special to watch, man. We're witnessing greatness right before our very eyes.
We have to stop hating and start appreciating.
And if you would have asked me this going back to college, Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, if I would have thought, no.
Hell no.
No, but it's a perfect marriage. Him and Andy Reid, it's a lot to do. Let's give Andy Reid a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of the credit. But Patrick Mahomes is putting it on display, everything else. But, man, it's just one of those things. It can be any quarterback that can do well if they're put in the right situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean –
I agree.
Everybody thought, though, you lose Tyreek Hill. They weren't giving that man no respect. Tyreek Hill was disrespecting that man, saying Tua had just as good, if not a better, deep ball. Like, come on, man. You don't believe that. I don't believe that. Nobody believes that. Let's stop. Yeah. Now, granted, Tua, before he got dropped on his head, he was doing pretty good. So let's just be honest. But I'm just saying, it's just a disrespect. It just needs to stop for Patrick Mahomes. That man,
I'm telling you, it's born out of hate, man. It's born out of hate and envy and jealousy, and a lot of these people that hate on them. If you really put truth serum to them and ask them what they want Patrick Mahomes leading their quarterback in their team, I think they would say yes.
Right. Oh, I think every team in the NFL would say yes to that, except for I don't know. Maybe the Bills. Because Josh Allen, as great as Josh Allen is, he ain't as accurate.
Oh no, you got about 5 teams that might say no. The Packers, the Bucks.
No. I bet the Packers take Patrick Mahomes tomorrow over Aaron Rodgers' shroom eating ass. For sure. For sure, bro.
Did you say shroom eating?
Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself right now, my man. He's just out there. He got paid. He's just chilling. He's enjoying that. All credit to him. He deserves the money he got. That man's great. Don't get me wrong. But Aaron Rodgers.
Let's not get sidetracked here, but let me ask you, what's the Packers record?
That's fair. 3-1.
Okay.
I hate them. Who'd they lose to? Too. Who was they one loss?
To y'all.
Skull, baby.
We'll see what y'all do when y'all go to Lambeau. Y'all got to back that up in Lambeau, though.
We will. We will, don't worry. All right, then, man, let's jump into these power rankings here. We got to give our power rankings. My number one team, give them all their flowers, give them all their roses, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're the only 4-0 team right now. They look great. They look the part. Everything else, I'm a big believer in Jalen. So I got the Eagles at 1. Number 2, it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Just because of what they did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how they did it. Number 3, I got the Buffalo Bills. They look beatable, but they still showed that they're a good team. See what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not going to drop them. I believe I had them 2 last week. I got them at 3 this week. Number 14, the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, a lot of people probably dropped him a little bit further than this. I don't think that it was that bad. I think if Tua was healthy in that game, the whole game, it might have been a different outcome. We don't know. So, number 5, I got my Vikings. They're sitting right there at number 5, real close. Here in a week or so, I believe we have those Miami Dolphins to see who can take over that spot. Number 6, I got the Baltimore Ravens. What they did against the Buffalo Bills, man, they proved something to me. But like you said, can they finish? Can they finish the games? That's why I got them outside my top 5. They've got a top 5 talent-wise team, everything else. They just, to get into that top 5, you got to be able to show me you can finish games. And those teams in the top 5 that I had, they finished their games up to this point. Number 7, that valiant effort last night on Monday Night Football, man, them San Francisco 49ers look real. They look like the real deal. I mean, Sean McVay, the offensive wizard that he is, didn't even have an answer for that. That defense was flying to the ball. That front is nobody's second. Like, I mean, Joey Bosa, all them guys. So they're there, number 7. Number 8, I'm going to have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're still in my top 10, but they're squeaking on their way out. I got the Packers at number 9. This one, again, it hurts. I'm still not giving them any love, though, because it took a valiant effort and a field goal to beat the third-string quarterback for the New England Patriots, my man. I mean, at Lambeau. So they still have a lot to work out over there, but they're 3-1. You got to give them some kind of credit. I got number 10. I got the Cincinnati Bengals. They are one of those teams. You were talking about them last week in their game that they had when they had with the Miami Dolphins, and they beat them at home. It was a packed crowd, everything else. Joe Burrow, I mean, he's starting to get into that midseason form, and Jamar Chase. They got guys, they got dudes. So I got them at 10. My number 11 team on the outside looking in, I just got to see a little bit more from them. And this kills me as the Dallas Cowboys, man. They're right freaking there, dude. Because, I mean, Cooper Rush, I mean, if they bring Dak Prescott back and just automatically assume him as a starter, I don't agree with that. Because I think Cooper Rush, I think they're on a high right now. And I don't think they're going to rush Dak back like they were before.
No, they gave him that. He's definitely giving them a shot in the arm. So I agree with that. I think you let Dak sit as much as possible. I think Jerry Jones wants that, to be honest. I think all of his press clippings, it sounds like he's liking what Cooper Rush is doing.
Which is surprising because you just paid that man Dak $40+ million a year to be your quarterback.
Sometimes it's not about money; it's about results.
I get it. Yeah, Jerry Jones will pay that money if it wins him the Super Bowl for Dak to sit on the sideline. I promise you that. What you got, man? What's your power rankings looking like this week?
All right, number 1, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Talking about Houdini, I moved them up to my number 1 spot. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills, showing their moxie and coming back. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now you say they're 4-0. The other 2 teams above them have a loss. But like I said earlier, I think Jalen Hurts showed he's human again. So still top 3, that's still pretty good. Number 4, I hated to do this, man. The Green Bay Packers. I got to respect winning. They're winning. It ain't pretty. Don't care. 3-1.
Okay.
Number 5, Dolphins. Even with the loss that they took Monday, I agree with you on that Thursday night game. If Tua doesn't get hurt, I think they actually win that game. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. Didn't drop them too far, as I promised I would when we talked. So there you go. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think for all of their warts and all of their problems right now and all of their injuries, I think they're still one of those top 10 teams. Number 8, the Baltimore Ravens. For every reason that you just pointed out, you got to finish games, big dog.
Right.
The guy to finish games, so that hurt them a lot in my rankings. Number 9, Cincinnati Bengals. I think, like you said, Joe Burrow's starting to come around. He's starting to knock off some of that rust. We'll see where the next quarter lies ahead of them because they got a brutal stretch coming up. Number 10, and the only reason I don't have this team higher, the 49ers, is because I don't know offensively if they can put out a consistent output. I mean, outside of Deebo Samuel, what really is the offense? There's a reason they were trying to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. There's a reason they took his playbook from him. There's a reason they said don't even come to training camp. There's a reason for all of that. And now he's back at the quarterback helm starting. As impressive as they looked last night on Monday Night Football, I'm still a little skeptical on them. And me, I hate this one too. Number 11, sitting right outside the top 10. I can't believe I'm going to say this, the Dallas Cowboys. Got to respect winning, man. After week 1, when Dak went down, I think the whole world was laughing and pointing, including me and you. We were both like, yes, they're going to suck this year. And look,
man, suck. And they're just 3-1.
Here they are, 3-1. They're one of 1, 2, 3.
Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year.
They're one of 6 teams in the NFL right now that are 3-1.
Did you hear me?
Micah Parsons? Yeah, he might be the best football player that's not a quarterback playing football. And I'm just keeping it real.
I hate it. Why does he have to be at Dallas, man? I hate it.
Hey,
I hate it. Why do you have to get that pick right?
But
no, I do. I do want to push back on something that you did say though, because I don't agree with this. A lot of power rankings have it like this: the Green Bay Packers over the Vikings. I mean, we beat them handily, head to head. Now, granted, week one without Devontae Adams, his first game, let Aaron Rodgers get acclimated. But what have they done to prove that they're better than the Minnesota Vikings right now?
They did everything that y'all done. They've gone 3-1. I think if I'm being honest, man, I like their quarterback better than I like your quarterback. I think in the spot, I think if I put the Vikings in that spot against the Patriots, I don't know if they beat the Patriots. I'm just being honest.
We're gonna find out. Oh, we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out. No. I trust my weapons over what Aaron Rodgers has.
No doubt. But the guy getting him the ball, is iffy. And he's a damn good quarterback. I'm not trying to disrespect Kirk Cousins, I promise. But I trust the two-time defending MVP.
I mean, but a lot of that on the other day, though, you can't blame that all on Kirk Cousins, though, man.
No.
It's not. Now that interception he threw, though, was terrible. I will say that. But no, it just, I don't know, man. We'll see. I just have a little issue with that. That's all.
Y'all was shown to be a little bit more shaky than the Packers have been. Now, honestly, they almost lost to a third-string quarterback in the Patriots.
That's what I'm saying.
I get it.
Patriots 1-2. They're 1-3 now, my guy. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, let's be real. I mean, we played the second-string quarterback. We win by 3. You say you're gonna drop us, but you put the Packers at 4, and they barely beat the third-string quarterback. Who is that guy's name from the Patriots? I don't even remember the dude's name.
I don't either. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Keep winning. Keep winning. Y'all want to be higher in the rankings. Y'all want respect. Keep winning. That's all you got to do. We know who y'all are. We know y'all's MO. We know what y'all do year to year. Y'all lose close games.
It's not this year. Not this year.
We're talking about 4 games. Hey, keep winning because the team that y'all beat is doing the same thing. And the last time I checked, they've won a division the past 3 years. So they're gonna get my respect above y'all for now.
Hey, piss on them. Piss on them. Piss on them all.
Y'all played 2 winning teams. You beat one of the Packers, and then you lost to Eagles 24-7.
But the Detroit Lions are scoring points with the best of them. They're the highest scoring team.
Yeah, but their defense is god awful.
Wow. I think they scored like 140 points this year, but they're giving up 146.
Bro, this is one of the worst defenses I've seen in a while, and I love them, bro. But gosh, dang, you can't give up 48 to damn Geno Smith, who hadn't done nothing. Nothing.
Geno been balling this year.
No, been balling against the Lions.
Oh, he balled against the Denver Broncos.
The first half. They put up 17 in the first half and then score a point in the second half.
They won the game, though. They won the game, though.
Bro.
Hey, they won the game, though.
These dudes got off the bus. These dudes got off the bus and put up a 48 burger on us. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
48 burger. Y'all put 45. Hey, thanks, Jared Goff. He helped me out waiver pickup. Great waiver. If y'all haven't already, go pick him up for your fantasy team. Dude's gonna ball out this year.
A little free fantasy advice from the House of Vital.
Yeah, House Divided. There you go. Don't take it for what you want. But all right, man. This has been a great show here. We are gonna tune back in tomorrow night to give our intriguing matchups for week number 5 coming up here. There's going to be a lot of good matchups there as well. But until then, we always sign in and we signing on out. But if you guys would, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. Go ahead and hit the notification bell and hop down in those comments, guys. We want y'all to blow them up so we can respond back to you guys and know if there's anything we have to do to work on. Other than that, my guy Corey, I will holler at you, brother. Good night. And have a good one, bro.
Peace.